Rules are made to be broken. Hi, I'm Nick. This is 10 Minutes with Nick. As always, thank you to those of you who subscribe on YouTube. Like and subscribe if you like what I'm saying. If you don't like what I'm saying, stick around. Maybe I'll change your mind. Rules are made to be broken. Why do I say that? Well, we're going to focus on the dating rules. A, there are no dating rules. Because a rule is something that you can repeat and that is sort of steadfast. And B, even if there is a rule, everybody knows that there are exceptions to rules. I know one couple. I met them maybe while I was in college, I think. The guy was too shy to ask the girl out. And so eventually, the girl just kind of hit him over the head and said, "Hey, I would like you to ask me out." Which then, of course, broke the ice and they were able to go on a date and get married and successfully have several children together. It worked. But the guy in that case was pursued. It's interesting. Now, I'm bringing this up again because I am doing my best to fight against that old chestnut, the red pill movement, which I don't even know how big the red pill movement is, but it shows up when I open my YouTube app, and that's too big. It's too big, guys. I'm sorry. There's, again, like I said, I'm not a big fan of throwing out the baby with the bathwater. There's some good things for young men that if you look at the red pill movement online, you can take away from it. Should you go to the gym to try and be fit and healthy and strong? Absolutely you should. Should you call women females? Absolutely not. Get that out of your head. Should you do your best to make money and build yourself up? Absolutely. Should you try to sleep with as many women as possible? I guess that's a personal preference. I would say no. I'm going to say no on that front. And in the red pill movement specifically, like these guys are very proud about the fact that they've slept with like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of women. And in fact, they say it's necessary for men to sleep with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of women. I'm going to go ahead and just recommend you don't do that. Just off the top. These are not men in general you want to listen to because they promulgate a series of rules as though they are in concrete and as though these rules have existed for time immemorial. They have not. And in some non-Western cultures, those rules never existed. Does that mean that, you should act like there aren't some rules? No. In Western society, guys are generally expected to pursue, and they're expected to pay for at least the first date. Just, boys, stop complaining about that. It's not inequality for that to exist. It's just a thing. It's a societal thing, and societal things exist. It's okay. Now, I'm not going to speak to what the rules are for women in dating. As I've mentioned, I am not a woman. I've never had the experience. I don't know. I'm not often asked out on dates by men. I have been. I've politely declined. It's happened maybe once or twice. So, in the words of Dr. Doofenshmirtz, if I had a nickel for every time a guy asked me out, I'd have, 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's funny that it happened twice, Again, I don't have that dating experience to share with you young ladies. And most of the people who listen to this podcast, I'm pretty sure, I'm guessing, are married. That's a demographic I appeal to for some reason. Yeah. Don't know why. I have no advice for married couples. I'm sure all of you married couples are doing well and you have successful relationships. And if you don't have successful relationships, I also don't have advice for that because I am not married. I have not gone through that experience. All my information on marriage is completely secondhand, and secondhand information is hearsay. And hearsay is typically not admissible in court unless it falls into a series of hearsay exceptions, and we're not going to get into those because this is not a court of law. This is a 10-minute podcast. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed that little rant. Young men who are out there dating at any age, middle school, high school, college, beyond. If you're dating before middle school, I'm going to suggest you don't. First of all, it's not a thing. Second of all, why? Just why? What are you doing? You're in 4th grade. What are you doing? What are you doing? You don't have that Riz. Stop it. Anyways, dating rules. They don't exist, and even if they did exist, they'd be made to be broken. If you talk to the red pill community, it's basically get money, F bitches, right? Right off the top, that should be a red flag. Listen, I'm not a big fan of people who try to shut down things like locker room talk, right? It's a thing, right? You puff out your chest and you try to look tough in front of your buddies. Boys, I get it, right? You want to do that? The thing is, you have to be careful about internalizing this stuff. That's where this red pill community and these rules start to become a big problem, is when you really start to internalize this stuff. You can avoid internalizing that stuff, but you just have to have strong character, right? And realize that if you're doing that, it is pure bravado. There is nothing behind it. And it's okay. Right? But don't puff out your chest and walk up to a girl and start talking about, yeah, you should want to sleep with me. I've slept with the X number of females. And again, don't refer to women as females. That's an easy rule. That is a rule. That's a rule that we're going to lock in place. Don't call women females. They're not dogs. They're human beings. They have worth. If you are stuck on calling women females, go to church. Just go to church, pick up a book, any of the books that happen to be in that church, get a little reading up on the value of human beings in general. And someone now is going to be like, oh, the Bible says that there are different kinds of people. Shut up. We've maintained that awkward silence long enough. Rules are made to be broken. If you're dating someone, or if you're trying to ask someone out, just go for broke. And listen. The only rule is trying and listening. Because it's very cute if you're pursuing someone who you like, and you like, I don't know, write a song for them, or you try to do something to impress them. If they like you back, and generally speaking, you'll know, it's very cute and very adorable. If they don't like you back, and again, you have to listen, then that behavior quickly becomes unacceptable. Guys, that's the only rule. Just listen. Listen and take it in. Listen and absorb. If a girl doesn't want to go out with you, you have to accept that that's okay. But if she wants to go out with you, you are chasing after her. Don't go over the top. But take a shot. The worst thing that happens is she doesn't want to go out with you. And you know what's changed about you fundamentally if she doesn't want to go out with you? Absolutely nothing. Also, remember that if she doesn't want to go out with you, her worth as a human being has also not changed. You are both human beings worthy of love before, after, or during a relationship. Don't like and subscribe because the rest of the podcasts are almost identical to this one. But thank you for listening. I'm Nick. This is 10 Minutes with Nick. Have a great day.